All right, we're live. Kyle Hunter here. Looking at the May 22nd card, we're going to talk a little bit about the Major League Baseball slate. I'll briefly cover the NBA. I don't really have any strong opinions on it, but just wanted to pop back on here a little bit. If you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, certainly appreciate it. Up to like 480 or something. I want to hit 500 subscribers there before long. And I know I haven't really pushed it too much. Should probably do that a bit more, but we'll have more coming up and in the months to come. Already starting to prep for football season. Looking forward to the football season ahead. Baseball's been well here. NBA season has been decent. A couple losses here of late, including the Celtics last night. We'll try to keep it going here in baseball. Plenty of ups and downs throughout the course of the season, though, as well. You guys know that, I'm sure. So, all right, let's briefly look at a few games, and I'll look at some of the stats that I usually look at, see if that helps out. If you have any questions, you can put it in the chat. Won't go very long here, though. Got some other things to do here with the kids here in a few minutes. So I wanted to get this out briefly. All right, I'm going to share my screen here to take a look at first the odds here from Sports Insight. And let's just look at game by game briefly. Milwaukee and Miami, Peralta versus Luzardo. Marquez is a good over umpire. I consider the over in this one 287, 253 to the over. You see, home teams have also done really well here with him. You think umpires are not looked at enough by most people. You've probably heard me say that before, or if you listen to me in general at any point, but I do think that's true. I think umpires need to be looked at pretty closely. So I considered that. I also considered Milwaukee. I just didn't know that I really wanted to have Milwaukee as that big of a favorite. I don't know that I trust them that much. So next on the board, Padres, Reds. The Reds are my team. Reds are not good at this point. I don't really have anything in this one. I know the total's gone up to 9.5. It is pretty hot in Ohio, about 80 degrees here. Tom Paine has been really good for home teams, about the best you'll ever see as far as umpires. Will the Reds win? I don't want to bet on this one. Snell's really struggled. The fact that Jones is favored against Snell tells you quite a bit. Going to pass on that one. Atlanta, Chicago. I don't really have anything. Let's see what the weather was there. Wrigley, the wind is blowing out about 10 miles per hour. So that is definitely notable considering how Wrigley, it obviously matters a lot. Morales, the umpire there, the over is 151 and 129 in his games. I definitely would consider the Dodgers minus 1.5 or Dodgers team total over Glasnow against Nelson. I think the Dodgers, we're a little bit slow starting this year, but Dodgers clearly the best roster in baseball and a team that I'd want to back at any chance I could. So I definitely lean Dodgers in some form in that one. Definitely really strongly considered Houston and the Angels over. I did win with Houston and the Angels over yesterday. Edwin Jimenez here, the umpire, he's only had 16 games behind the plate. If I was looking at my umpire database earlier today, if you go by what he's done so far, he looks like an under umpire with the strikes called, strikeout to walk ratio. So I ended up passing on this one, but I think Anderson's due for regression, and Brown really hasn't been very good. So over was my lean. Kansas City, Wagner, the umpire here, 273 and 256 the over, and his splits as far as strikeout walk ratio, strikes called in general, everything about him looks like an over umpire. So over, but do you want to bet an over with Skubal pitching the way he is, and Reagans has been pitching pretty well too? Not excited to do that, so I ended up passing on that. I'll tell you, let's look at Bello here quickly, Brian Bello against Tampa Bay. Look at this tab here, Baseball Savant. I know I'm hesitant to read too much into pitcher versus batter stats when it's not a huge sample size. 63 plate appearances. They just absolutely torched him. 468 WOBA here. This was one really bad start for him against them. I think it was really early in his career. So um, probably skewed some, but Tampa Bay trying to avoid being swept. This is a game where I pretty strongly lean Tampa Bay, and I'll probably bet Tampa Bay in some way, personally small here. So Tampa Bay money line, probably going to be a small personal bet for me. All right. Seattle and New York. It's kind of scrolling through Seattle and New York. New York is um, minus 160 or so. That's too much for me to lay it. Nick Lentz, the umpire here, 103 and 96 to the under. If you look at the splits here, Bryce Miller, just not enough games to go off of. Cortez has looked pretty good against the Yankee or against the Mariners, but not much there. And then I considered, well, let's see. I considered Phillies. There's been a reverse line movement here on Texas. Walker is kind of the weak link for the Phillies. Don't know that I trust him quite enough to lay the price. The odds movement, I don't bet just solely on that. I think people who just look at the reverse line movement bet that way. But it's interesting to see. I know the Phillies might sit some guys based on a lot of guys have played a lot. Their bullpen's been used quite a bit. I ended up passing there. And then Oakland, Colorado, Oakland, just not a game that I'm excited to bet in any way. So I do have one play tonight for clients. That's up at the site. I've hit 5 in a row in baseball. Doesn't mean I'm going to win the next one. Doesn't mean I'm going to win 5 more in a row. But it is what it is. A good start to the season, at least. Long grind is the baseball season. Let's briefly look here at Mavericks T-Wolves. All right, Mavericks T-Wolves tonight. The refs in this one, Kevin Scott, Mark Davis, Mark Lindsay, really nothing for over-under. Davis is a kind of an under guy, but the other two are slightly to the over. As far as home and away, I see nothing that stands out to me either. The number has gone up on the total to 207. I believe this was 205 and a half, 206. Yeah, went down, came back up. So this is kind of gone back up a bit here. The total, the side, Minnesota -4, 4.5. 77% of the bets, 82% of money on Minnesota. Take this for what it's worth. Again, I don't bet just solely on percentages or anything, but I think Minnesota probably wins the series. Do I want to lay the points here in game one? This is really a game I don't want to bet, honestly. I'm not one to force bets. You guys know that about me. And this is just not a game that I'm interested in betting. And maybe player prop of some kind. I'll have to look at those later today, but just nothing that stands out to me about that one. So as far as ones that I do kind of like today, I like Tampa Bay. Someone there to try to avoid a sweep. I like the Dodgers in some capacity, whether it be team total over -1.5, with Glasnow looking to bounce back from not a great start. Others, I lean Phillies. The price movement's strange there. I would probably lean over in the Cubs Braves game as well. And then definitely lean Milwaukee against Miami in that one. Like I said, the umpire in that one, Marquez, has been a big home umpire. I don't know that that means a lot, but I definitely put more stock in the over-unders for the umpires. All right. That's the quick rundown of the Thursday or the Wednesday, May 22nd slate. And again, subscribe to the channel if you would. Appreciate it. If you have any questions, hit me up. I'm definitely open to help out in any way that I can. At Kyle Hunter Picks on Twitter or X. Hope everybody has a great rest of the day here today. Tune in to BetUS College Football Show. I'm gonna be on there with Gary and Parker later today. Looking forward to that. Already talking about college football. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Best of luck on all your bets today, and I'll check in with you again soon.